Excuse me, everybody. Can I get everyone's attention, por favor? Me and my pledge brothers of NAC are setting up a Day of the Dead little presentation. If you would like to listen, just have a seat down here, and yeah, there's some food here if you would like. If not, you know, if you're busy, keep doing your work. But we're here if you want. Thank you very much. God bless. Thanks for joining us. So, Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, has really strong roots, like a long time ago. So, like, I'm speaking 3,000 years ago. It began in the land of like Mexico, what we now call Mexico, in like Central America, by the civilization called the Olmecs. They were like one of the oldest civilizations of all time. They really like embraced life. They didn't think it was like the end of life. They thought it was just another continuation, like death was. And yeah, so they started celebrating this, and they kept passing it down, civilization to civilization. But once like the Aztecs came in and conquered the place, they like really revolutionized the whole celebration. They began celebrating for an entire month, specifically the August month, which is the 9th month in the Aztec calendar. And yeah, everyone keep going from there.
So the Aztecs, they basically, like you said, they revolutionized this whole celebration because it's very important to know that not only Mexico celebrates this, countries such as Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador also celebrate this. I mean, it's not as big as it is in Mexico, but what they're saying it's just something that was basically generated in Mexico because of the Aztecs. Now what they used to do, some of the things we have here, the Aztecs, what they like to do is, since religion didn't exist back in the day, what they would do is when an ancestor or a fallen ancestor were to die, they would actually keep the skulls of their ancestors as trophies. So it's basically to honor them within the 9th calendar day of the Aztec calendar. Something that they would also do, we also have Wolfie here, which represents the dog. What happened is, when a dominant male were to die, they would kill their dog with them, because a dog signifies a passing to the other life, which that's what the dog represents. Which, I mean, it's pretty harsh, but it's just yeah, it's rooted. But.
Okay, and then in modern times now, most of the families, they tend to go to the cemeteries. They clean the grave. They take the difuntos, well, the person that passed away, they take his favorite meal, or her favorite meal, or whatever. They take their favorite meal, and it's legend. My mom has always told me that the food in the morning when they go back is always gone. They always say that. I don't know if the muertos eat it, or I don't know where it goes, but it turns out it's always gone.
Also, November 1st is Dia de los Santos, and November 2nd is Dia de los Muertos. And Dia de los Santos, that's where you celebrate, or just like this infants or youth or whatever. That's why they have these toys, like to signify that. November 1st and November 2nd, that's where they celebrate older elders that passed away. And, yeah, it's always pretty cool.
Alright, well, adding on to what my brother said, what he said about the food being gone, I don't know if that's really true, because that never happened to me, because I'd be scared. But what it was that I researched it, and it said that basically the dead will come, and you also have to leave like blankets and stuff for them to rest, because it's a long journey to the afterlife. And so basically the food is for like them to eat nourishment, and they say that like the food there like has no real nourishment. Like people eat it anyways, but it's like nothing for you. It's like you're eating nothing. And then going on to what my other brother said was that yesterday is what they call the Dia de los Inocentes, which is basically to celebrate like the infants and kids that have already passed away, and to like commemorate their memory. And then today is Dia de los Muertos, or Dia de los Difuntos, which is basically like everybody else, like the adults and everybody. Like Pledge Brother Jerry said, that they go to the cemetery and they basically just have a good time, because they try and like tell all these funny anecdotes and funny stories about the people that have already lived, and they're trying to remember them in a good memory.
And also, okay, obviously one way they celebrate is cleaning the graves. But the more popular celebration is like an altar, which is what we set up in the big cities. They do this more commonly, and also in USA. So people in their homes, they designate just a specific table, and then they just create an altar with offerings. And the offerings can really be anything to kind of like symbolize the dead, like or whatever, like what they liked. For instance, these are our offerings: the bread, the horchata, the candles. A lot of the offerings, they kind of represent like the 4 elements of life: fire, wind, water, and earth. For instance, the food would be earth. The drink, which is horchata in this case, would be water. Wind would be like tablecloths that they do. We don't have any, but like in the back of those tables, that would be tablecloths. And obviously the candles would be fire. They would kind of help guide the spirits in their transition back from the dead to common times, whatever. And yeah, but it could really be anything. You could really put any offerings to kind of whatever your family liked, that specific person, you could kind of put their interests or whatever.